Hi, it's Limitless Lindy here with the next I Respond to Naysayers video. Today's naysayer comment of the day is, it's not possible to lose 400 pounds of fat in 120 days. That's burning 1.4 million calories or almost 12,000 calories a day. You only burn about 100 calories a mile in running, so yeah, no. She might have had severe fluid retention though, and low carb does help with edema drastically. I totally support carnivore and keto, but 4 pounds of fat burned a day every day for 4 months is simply impossible biologically. The other possibility to fluid loss is someone simply exaggerating their story for effect. Firstly, I never claimed to have lost 400 pounds of fat ever. If you listen to any of my previous videos, you will know that I have severe edema and inflammation in my whole body, and I also struggle with the conditions lymphedema and lipedema. My scale does not measure fat loss. It measures the total mass weight of my body. I believe the 400-pound weight loss that I experienced to be attributed mainly to the loss of water and inflammation in my body. You could visibly see this change. My arms and my legs, they almost halved in size and diameter. This also resulted in less inflammation and joint pain, allowing me to gain some mobility back. I do not understand the science behind calories. I simply eat the carnivore diet until I'm satiated, which leads me to intermittent fasting. I do not track my food, and I don't restrict my food. The healing I have experienced with this way of eating has been life-changing. And I honestly had a lot of healing to do, and I still have a lot of healing to do. I'm still not near the end of my journey. The healing benefits of carnivore is my priority. And in turn, I know that my body will continue to reward me with a happier, healthier, and leaner me. I am not asking anyone to believe my story, and honestly, I don't really care. I lived that life, I know where I came from, and that's really all that matters to me. But I am here to share my story with those people that are currently walking in my shoes, to those that are lost and need to know that there are other options out there for you to try and regain your life back. I am here to help those people, to inspire and to give them some hope. I posted this comment to my coaches and they wanted the opportunity to respond. So let's hand over to Steak and Butter Girls Bella, Coach Emily and Coach Raymond for their insight.
Hi, we are Lindy's besties and team and cheerleaders. I am Bella, Steak and Butter Gal, and we were invited by Lindy to comment a little bit and share our thoughts on these naysayer comments. So Lindy will be doing a whole series. She'll be posting a bunch of different naysayer comments, and we're just going to provide our honest, raw reactions. So I'm Bella.
I'm Emily. I'm a coach with SB Gang, and I had the honor of being able to coach Lindy throughout her weight loss journey and her healing journey of carnivore.
I'm Raymond, and 6-year carnivore, and I'm excited to have been here coaching Lindy. And actually, I feel like this is a world's first that I have never seen before, nor anyone else, with Limitless Lindy's journey. And I'm glad to be here on her channel.
I feel very irritated by this naysayer comment. To me, we watched her transform before our very eyes. And when somebody is losing water weight, inflammation, structural, fat is not just the fat that's in there. It's actually a connective tissue. And so it's made up of proteins and fats and carbohydrates, just like every tissue in our body has these components to it. And so the components of Lindy's form and her shape went through a dramatic transformation, which I think that beginning probably was a lot of fluid because she was so inflamed. We know that inflammation is also tons of fluid stored up in all different places in the body. And so much was released and improving her comfort as she went along with this. So absolutely, we're not saying this was just pure fat. This was a transformative loss, and it happened to show up in weight, which is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I actually was in that same disbelief because I observed it myself. Okay. And I was still in this disbelief. So it's not unusual for you to feel like This can't be real, right? Now, I want to say, you're trying to say this is exaggerating for effect. No, we actually have the scale weight, and I don't know how else to prove to you that I saw it, Emily saw it, Lindy lived it. So let's go with that. First of all, that's an observation. If you want to deny observation, then I don't even think we should be even talking about science at all. Okay. Now, what's interesting is, you mentioned the science part about like how impossible it is to go through the calories and burn about a certain amount of calories through like jogging, running a mile for that 100 calories, and how she's losing 4 pounds a day. Okay. So great. I'm glad you mentioned this. And then there was a mention about, well, it's possibly water weight and possibly fluid retention and losing the inflammation. Great. So how does that mix is what I'd like to ask, because you just said calories. Well, how do you count the calories of edema? How do you count the calories of losing it through inflammation? One way or the other, she lost the weight. Okay. We don't know the answer. I'm not going to say I'm a doctor or I know exactly what happened. I have no idea. As a matter of fact, I'm totally clueless to this. But one thing I can tell you, because of your observation, the way you've described it, that was wonderful. You just proved the calorie fiction that it is not real. It is not a good quality of way to look at things. So thank you for that. I have to admit, that was one of the best comments to prove that calories in, calories out is flawed.
Yeah. And also, I think just to bring home the key words here, Lindy never said she lost 100 pounds of fat, right? She never specified what type of weight she lost, but she is assuming that she mostly lost water weight, that initial huge weight loss, right? I would call it the whoosh effect, but like extreme whoosh effect.
My body was very inflamed. I mean, you could actually touch my skin and leave dents in my skin, like my whole body. Now, it wasn't just in, the legs or the arms. My whole body was inflamed. I could feel it. And just within days of changing or transitioning to the carnivore diet, I was having immediate improvements. The inflammation, the water, the edema was going down, and I could feel it in my joints. It's a very painful condition, especially at that size, and having that much fluid in your body is very, very painful.
I love that you clarified it. And sometimes viewers and our audience just needs a little bit more clarification to truly understand what's going on with Lindy's specific story. Everybody has their own story to tell. And I'm just proud of you, Lindy, for sharing it to the world, for stepping out and speaking your truth. Lindy is still very much in like smack dab middle of her journey. She's nowhere near her goal weight or where she wants to be. And this is where I want to applaud you, Lindy, for stepping out and still talking about it, sharing about it when you're not even at your end goal. You're sharing about it while you're doing the work. So I love that. And so let's just continue observing Lindy's progress.
Yeah. So, one of the things that I want folks to realize that, yes, a lot of us have watched My 600-Pound Life. What we have not seen is a actual proper weight loss on these that does not come back up. So really, we don't know how weight loss is actually, how well the body can heal itself if it has the proper nutrients. What Lindy proved to us, with the proper nutrition, the body is incredible at repairing itself, to the point where we're like, how can this be possible? So that's what that proved to me. Also proved to me that the carnivore way of life is the proper human way to eat.
And speaking of calorie restriction, there was no calorie restriction in her journey. As she healed and as she let go of this inflammation, there was no exercise punishment and getting her out there. And, that did not exist. So this is not a biggest loser kind of environment that has happened. This has been a very natural progression of healing.
Yes.